So joining us is Lynn Lyman, who is an author. And Amy, you wrote a book called Lucky G and the Melancholy Quokka, which I had to look up because I didn't even know what a quokka is. What is it?
A quokka is this sweet marsupial guy that you find down under. He's an Australian character, and he is known as like the happiest creature on earth.
Tell us a little bit about Lucky G and the Melancholy Quokka.
Lucky G and the Melancholy Quokka is a book to help kids deal with depression. And back to the quokka, I wanted to do a book with animals so kids could relate to them. So I looked for the happiest creature on earth, and then I came across the quokka, and I thought, if kids could see that the quokka can get sad, then they will know that really anybody can get sad, and that it's okay, and that there is hope, and there are things you can do to try to move out of that depression. So my title character is, see if you can call, like, Lucky G. He is a raven therapist. You can see he has colorful feathers. He wears high-top tennis shoes. He's wearing an Australian bush hat for this book because he goes down under to visit a friend. And when he gets there, his friend Drew the emu says, "Hey, there's somebody I think you should meet." And then he's introduced to Blue the quokka, who has lost his grin. And Lucky G, PhD, is a therapist. He's credentialed. I work with therapists to do these books so that I make sure that because I'm not a therapist, but I make sure that I'm doing, the right things, giving people the right advice. So anyway, he goes down to Australia and he runs upon this quokka, and through hard work, like with play therapy, they play games, they do bubbles, they do puzzles, cars, dolls, and also through talk therapy, Blue is able to find his smile again.
So Amy, this is important for you. You wrote this book for a reason. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. I myself have depression, or I've struggled with deep bouts with depression. I also have bipolar, which I learned in 2016. In 2015, I had a psychotic break and tried to take my life. And in 2016, I was hospitalized for 2 months. And during that time, my family was trying to find books for my 3 kids, who were young at the time, to try to help them understand what mom was going through. And they couldn't find anything. And then I kind of was on the same mission, and I really couldn't find anything either, anything that I thought they would like. So that was kind of the catalyst for me writing this book. I'm a journalist by trade, so I had spent 10 years in the news industry, and I'm like, I know how to write. I've always kind of toyed with it and enjoyed it, so why not?
And who can benefit from your book?
Children. It's the age group is ages 5 to 7. Therapists, so they can introduce children to play therapy or therapy. Doctors who may have similar discussions. School teachers. He even said families could benefit from this to introduce their kids to the concept of depression and play therapy.
What's your best advice for somebody, especially right now?
With the holidays upon us, my best advice is to have fun, focus on fun, laugh a lot, but then remember that it's okay if you're not laughing. Take time for yourself. My little one said the other day, and I have a 10-year-old daughter, and she said, "Mom, can we go look at the Christmas lights again this year?" And that warmed my heart because that's what I did with my grandparents.
Was that difficult for you, Amy, to share your struggle with depression?
Yeah, I initially felt a lot of shame. I felt shame for, not getting help sooner. I mean, I was 42 when I was diagnosed, and we didn't know what was going on with me probably for a good 30 years. My therapist probably thinks I was about 12, probably when I started showing signs. So I'm like, I've gone through an entire lifetime,
Yeah,
not knowing what's going on. I felt stupid. I felt lonely. I felt embarrassed. And then I started going to support groups and seeing other people. I'm like, you know what? This is not my fault. It's not there. I try to give myself the same love that you give to other people.
yeah.
Like some people, we go through different stages in life, and I'm just starting a new chapter, maybe at a later time than others have,
What would you
maybe
say to
earlier.
somebody? What would you say to somebody out there listening who also suffers from depression?
I would say you're not alone. You didn't do anything wrong. There is hope, and you are worth it. You deserve to be here. And if you weren't here, somebody would miss you.
Yeah. You have written another book called Lucky G and the Sunshine Girl. What is that book about?
But Sunbeam Girl, very close. That one is actually about parental depression. That's the first book that I wrote. Um, so it's about a mom who doesn't get out of bed, and her little girl goes on an adventure, and it has Lucky G, the same title character, the same Raven, Lucky G and the Sunbeam Girl. Um, and it talks about meeting people where they are. Like at the end, the mom isn't like magically cured of depression. Like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go tackle the world now. She's like, I'm going to get out of bed. It may not be today, but it will happen. But until then, we can have tea parties in my bedroom.
Where can we get your books?
Oh, thank you for asking. Actually, I published myself, Lucky G and the Sunbeam Girl. So if you go to my website at amylymanauthor.com, that you can order both books through there. But
I always ask everyone that I interview the same question at the end, and that is, Amy Lynn Lyman, tell me something good.
this year has been so hard, but I feel like as much as it's been a hard year, 2020 can be a year of grace. Just give grace to yourself, give grace to others. Where there's hope, there's healing.
So, Amy, thank you for what you do. You're really changing lives and making a difference, especially for kids. And sometimes kids really don't understand. So, having something that they can understand is the most useful tool available. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bob, for what you do. So, my pleasure.